Now we come to the second column. The business partner model has been around about 20 years. We did a book in 1987 that really pulled those ideas together. What's happening in that model and the evolution of HR people in those disruptions? And I'll talk about four things: the shift in the evolution of the business partner model, outcomes of HR, organization, and leadership. Here we go. Business partner model. When I ask people, what's the business partner model, almost always they tell me it's a role. It's the HR generalist. It's the HR person who sits in a business unit. My sense is that's grossly misrepresenting the model. That's like saying my cell phone is good because I can, or my smartphone is good. I said cell phone. That shows that I'm still one of the older folks who get locked into an old mindset. My smartphone is good because it can give me a voice and I can call somebody. Well, that's only 5 or 6% of what a smartphone can do. A smartphone today can connect me to the world through this incredible device in the palm of my hand. It can give me maps. It can give me information about restaurants and food and directions. It can connect me with people through LinkedIn or Twitter. Well, that's the business partner model. The business partner model is not a role. In the last few months, there have been studies about do away with the business partner model. That's crazy, because the business partner model has 12 or 13 things. I know you won't be able to follow this. This will be in a LinkedIn article, and we'll talk about it at the HR Congress. But when we started to put together not the role of business partner, but the logic and the trends, here's what we found. And I'm going to go quickly through the left-hand side on a couple of pages. Business partner starts with an assumption of value added. And I did it on the previous slide. We moved from efficiency to functional to outside in. It requires, number two, an understanding of the context. And we talked with those forces of the world that are changing us, the context around social context trends, pace of change, and individuation. Number three, it requires a clear assessment of our stakeholders, who we serve. We evolve from internal stakeholders to external. Business partnership, then number four, requires on outcomes. What does HR deliver? And I'll end this webinar by talking about talent. How do we increase the employee productivity and the employee experience? And what are those trends? Number five, the business partner model talks about an outcome as organization, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. It's not just the shape or the alignment, it's the capability. Number six, business partner model talks about leadership as an outcome, and I'll talk about that in a minute. How do we build leadership? Number seven, the business partner model and the logic talks about the strategy of the HR department, what we're known for, who we are, what we deliver, and getting that strategy right. Number eight, the business partner model talks about our HR organization. You could put a big circle around this one. This is traditionally where the business partner model goes. What's the role? What's the structure of HR? Absolutely critical. And the headline on number eight, the HR structure should match the business structure. So there are times when HR is a single business and functionally organized. There are times when HR is responding to multiple businesses. Number nine, the HR business partner logic says our HR practices should be managed in a more aggressive way. They should be integrated, aligned, and innovative, and ultimately simple. Number 10, our HR business partner model requires new competencies of HR people. We should match those competencies to the skill set that we need. And I'll talk about that in just a minute, especially around strategic positioner. Number 11, I already alluded to it. A good HR business partner logic has to evolve the information or analytics. That's one of the disruptions. And remember, we talked about the scorecard, the insights, the interventions. And a business partner model moves me. Number 12, we talked about the HR business partner model affects technology from efficiency, doing better, to innovation, doing better HR, to information, to connection. And finally, number 13, the HR business partner model talks about a focus on relationships, both inside HR and across functions. Whoa, take a deep breath. When somebody says, so what does the business partner model require? It's not about a role. I'm a business partner because I sit in a geography serving Latin America or Eastern Europe or North America or Asia, or I'm a business partner model because I'm an HR generalist in a line of business. The business partner model is not just a phone call on a cell phone. It's all of the skills of a smartphone. And in fact, those 13 points, and I'm not hung up with 13. Maybe there's 12, maybe there's 15. If those things don't go together, the business partner model is not fully effective. For me, this gets very exciting. And it says HR is not about HR, it's about winning in the marketplace. And the business partner concept that does those things will help us succeed. Many of the limitations of the business partner model is when we look at it only through one lens. Somebody says, again, I'll finish, and this will be the last time I use the metaphor, my phone is not working well because I'm only doing phone calls. Well, if that's the only thing we use our smartphone for, we're missing all of the apps that could come. The business partner model requires a broad focus. Let me now go deep into three parts of what I just went through. One of the most critical things of a business partner model is understanding the outcomes. So if I were to ask you the question, if HR is effective, what will happen? What will happen if HR does their job well? Because good business partners are not what they do, but the value they create from what they do. I wish we were able to do this in a scoring sheet, but we were worried about time, and I want to make sure we leave some time for questions. 10 points. On your left hand, if you look at your left hand, there's 5 fingers. Those are the individuals. Good business partners help those people do a great job. As business partners, we build talent, competence, workforce. We build people. On your right hand, imagine it closed as a fist. Those people come together in a system. So it's not talent, it's culture, it's not competence, it's capability, it's not workforce, it's workplace, not people, it's process. So here then is our ultimate bias. On my left hand, HR business partners help individuals. On my right hand, they help organizations. If you had 10 points to divide across those two, what outcome does the HR business partner most deliver? Is it the left hand, the individual, the fingers, or the right hand, the organizational fist? In your own mind, divide those 10 points. How much do they deliver business results? Do business results come from individual or organization? One way to frame that question is to imagine the following scenario. There's a business meeting. At the head of the table or in the middle of the table is the general manager. She or he has responsibility to win in the marketplace. Around that table are the finance people who bring economic and financial data, the marketing salespeople who bring customer interest data and net promoter scores, the manufacturing people who bring operational efficiency. What do we bring? Is it the left hand, the fingers, knowledge about talent, or is it the right hand, the fist, information about organization? Here's what we've discovered. When we did the test with 1,200 business units, 32,000 people, talent, the left hand, organization, the right hand, the bottom right of this picture of culture, organization and culture had 4 times the impact as talent. Let me say that again. Organization had 4 times the impact of talent. In our 10 points, we would give talent 2 and organization 8. So stop and think what that means. Let me add one other thing before I do that. We put leadership between those two because leaders shape talent. People do what their leader does. Leaders also shape organizational culture. The way leaders behave becomes the culture. So here's the takeaway. When I and HR come to the business discussion, finance brings economic data, marketing brings customer data, manufacturing, operational data. We bring 3 kinds of data: talent, culture, and leadership. And what we found is that this 80-20 organization over leadership is so key. In the World Cup, where we in the United States have never won, but there are clearly those around the world that have, 80% of or 20% of the time, the winner of the Golden Boot, the best talent, is on the team that wins the World Cup. In the Academy Awards, 20% of the time, the winner of the actor or actress award is in the movie that wins movie of the year. In other words, talent, not just in HR, but in organizations and in sports and in movies, is effective 20% of the time. 80% is organization. Then in the Academy Awards, the winner of the Best Director of the Year is in the movie that wins Movie of the Year 80% of the time. That's why we put three things. When I walk into a room, there's three outcomes I provide: talent, leadership, and organization. If I'm an HR professional, those three things should be top of mind. When I'm an effective business partner, those are the things I bring. Let me now go deeper into organization. Organization is not about our structure. It's about our capability. A capability represents what we're known for and good at doing. It's a combination of the social skills and the organizational skills that bring us together. A great business partner is not just good at managing structure, but capability. Let me give a quick example. If I were in a workshop and I would say, name a company you admire, there are companies around the world that you could name. You might name Apple, you might name Amazon, you might name Unilever, you might name LG out of Korea, you might name Samsung, you might name somebody out of Japan, Panasonic, you might name somebody out of Central Europe, Siemens. And then I would say to you, how many levels of management do they have? And almost everybody would look at me and go, I have no idea. I don't know how many levels of management Unilever, Siemens has. I don't know how many levels of management any firm has. Why do you admire that firm? You admire that firm because of their capability, what they're good at doing. Unilever is socially responsible. Siemens is innovating in new markets. LG is building customer focus with their innovative products. Amazon is successful through the internet and their discipline and efficiency. What a company is known for is their capability. Business partners have the duty of building capabilities. We have a 5-step approach for doing that. Again, I know I'm covering a lot. You won't master the 5 steps. We could go deep. But what we've got to do is look, here are capabilities a company might have. We win because of talent. We win because of speed of marketplace. In the consumer products area like Unilever and Procter & Gamble and Nestle, the first mover advantage is so key. We win because of our culture, because of our reputation and our identity, etc. Our job as business partners is to audit that capability. Here's some fascinating data, again, from this recent research in Victory to Organization. Which of those capabilities have the most business impact? Notice external sensing, speed. How well are companies doing those in 1,200 businesses? What's really interesting is top right. Talent is done incredibly well, but today it doesn't have the impact. Look at the bottom right. External sensing, that's information of the markets. The bottom right, speed, innovation, culture. Those are the capabilities that have impact, and we in HR as business partners can do that better. Leadership. Leadership is another one of those key outcomes, and our simple view is that as business partners, we should answer 4 questions for leadership in the organization. Why we need leadership. Why is leadership so critical? What good leadership looks like. What are the requirements of leaders? How to build leaders and how to be a more effective leader. In building leadership, we've done a book called Leadership Brand. There are 6 steps to building leadership. We hope as HR people, we know what those steps look like. We built the leadership code. What are the skills of leadership that every leader should master? We hope your organization has that code and can do it inside your work. Oh, take a deep breath. I have started at the top of my chart with a very simple hard talk question. And we could have renamed this Hard Talk with Lots of Stuff. But here's the headline at the top. HR is not about HR, it's about the business. In fact, at the top of this model again, HR is not about HR, it's about the business. The hardest paragraph to write in any book is the first paragraph. And the most difficult sentence is the first one, because that sentence needs to capture the message of the book. Here's the first sentence of our new book. Victory Through Organization is the book. HR is not about HR. It's about the business. And I talked about that, the contextual changes that makes HR win. So we go to the left-hand column. What are some disruptions we should know? And I listed 3 of what could be 8 or 10. We've got to be outside in. We've got to see the world through the eyes of customers and investors. It's not about what we do, it's the value we create for others. We've got to shift analytics from simply measuring the scorecard to measuring the business impact. And in fact, in the piece I'm writing on the analytics of analytics, if we're not creating business impact, analytics don't create value. We've got to change technology from simply doing things more efficiently to connecting people in a more intimate way. Those are the disruptions. The second column, we've got to change the logic of business partner. Business partner is not a role. I work with my business leader, therefore I'm a business partner. Business partner requires, and I think there were 13 things. This is the assessment of the context and the future of business partner. I went deep on 3 of those. We have to focus on value-added outcomes. And in HR, it's not just the talent, it's the organization. And then I talked about building capability, not defining the organization as structure, but capability and leadership. Building a leadership brand through leadership code.